Blutbart.
Hello and welcome back to another behind the scenes toy photography video. This week I'll show you how to use forced perspective to take photos of differently scaled toys. I call this shot Permanent Resident. I'll also show you my editing process. For this shot I used the Black Series AT-AT driver and the Micro Galaxy Squadron AT-AT from Hasbro and JazWares respectively. I've been inspired lately by all you other toy photographers posting great Hoth themed photos you've taken outside thanks to all the snowfall. I wanted to get in on the action too, but I am also a hermit and don't want to spend hours outside in the cold, so I used a whole bag of flour to create my own snow scene. I began by emptying the flour out onto this paving stone that I've propped up on a few cinder blocks. Flour gets absolutely everywhere, so if you're planning on doing this yourself, I would definitely recommend having a dustpan or vacuum handy. I continued by positioning this 3D printed icy rock formation at the edge of my frame. I'll leave a link for the STL file in the description. Next I posed my figure and sat him on the rocks. The title of my shot was inspired by Han Solo telling C-3PO to hurry up in his escape from Echo Base in The Empire Strikes Back. He says, "Hurry up, Blutbart! You're gonna be a permanent resident!" This got me thinking about all the soldiers who may have been left behind to freeze to death after the Battle of Hoth, so I made sure to add a fallen AT-AT in the background to really set the scene. To drive the point home, I wanted to add a lone rebel ship taking off in the background. I achieved this by tying my toy X-Wing to the ceiling rafters with nylon sewing thread. Lastly, I turned off the room lighting and moved my background TV into place. Time to shoot! Here's my starting image. This was a very easy edit. I used a shallow depth of field to make my vehicles seem further away from the lens than they were. The blurriness did double duty by obscuring the nylon thread holding up the X-Wing, saving me time on editing. After a slight crop, all I needed to do were a few small touch-ups and color corrections. I edited out the articulation joints on the driver, and then added adjustment layers for levels and color balance to even out the blue tones. The hardest part of this edit was drawing in the engine glow for the X-Wing. I had never done this before, so it required some experimentation on my part. My first attempt at drawing looked bad, so I tried again with some stock imagery. This looked even worse, so for my third attempt I went back to drawing. Through a combination of blending modes, layer opacities, and various blur techniques, I was finally able to come up with something I thought looked okay for a first attempt. This is definitely a technique I will try to improve on in the future. So once again, here's my starting image. And here's where I ended up. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing, and maybe check me out on Instagram. Thanks, and until next time.